Hey, I'm Brandy Lucas and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in here with me, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about myself and then we'll get rolling into today's video. I am a Dallas, Texas short hair stylist and salon owner. I co-own this beautiful place, Main and Groom Beauty and Barber Salon in Cedar Hill, Texas, with my husband, barber extraordinaire Ray Lucas. Today, I'm going to chit chat with you guys about something that I get a lot of questions on my Instagram about, and it is what flat irons I use to curl short hair. So if that's something that you're interested in because you're a stylist and you're looking for the hottest irons to style your clients, or because you want to figure out what you can use at home to style your hair in between salon visits, this video is for you. Stick around. Okay, let's get into it. The first iron I'm going to start with is one that is very popular. If you follow short hair pages on Instagram or short hair stylists, you've probably seen this baby before. This is the Babyliss Nano 1-inch flat iron. I'm going to give you guys a pro and a con on the irons that I'm sharing today, if I have pros and cons on them, to help you make an informed decision on if any of these irons will work well for your situation. So the Babyliss Nano iron, pros and cons on this iron. I have used this iron. Is a little beat up. It's a sign of a well-used iron. Like they say, if your Bible is all pristine and you don't have any marks or writing in it, and you're not really reading your Bible, I feel the same way about my tool. So if the tool is too new and not very seasoned, it's a good testament that I don't really use it a lot. But this Nano has been used a whole lot. It's beat up and burned up. Pros and cons on this is that the pros is that this is a very easy to travel with iron. If you're a person who likes to always stay pulled together and polished, want to be able to touch your hair up after a workout, or even taking an iron with you for travel, but you don't want to have a bulky, whole setup, this is a good iron for that. So that is a pro. It is very easy to take, get up and go and move around with. Now the con on this Nano iron is that I am a stickler as a stylist for suggesting products that are healthy for people who are not professionals to use. This Nano does not have a heat gauge. The highest temperature I think is 450, and I'll share all the information on all the irons that I share with you guys so you can check them out and get a little bit more insight on them. But you plug this thing in and within a minute or so, it is blazing hot. So for some hair textures in some situations, it can be too much heat. So that's a con with this iron. And then the body of the iron really gets hot too. So if you are reaching to pick up the iron and not looking specifically at what you're doing, and you happen to grab any part except for these bumpers on the end, you can burn your hand. But this is an iron that I have used a lot. I have achieved some very dope styles with it. Just always keep it around because it is an iron, especially if I'm going to travel somewhere or if I just need some quick pick-me-ups to pull my hair together. I do reach for this iron. The second iron I'm going to talk about is this baby right here. It is the Red Pro Titanium 460 iron, and it is also a 1-inch iron in width. I like this iron because it is my go-to at-home styling tool. So usually if you're rocking short hair, you have that tool that you leave in the bathroom that people dare not touch because this is what you're going to need to get your hair together. For me, this is the iron. So this titanium, Red Pro Titanium 460 sits on my bathroom counter. I usually just leave it plugged in and just hit the on or off button depending on when I need to use it. I am not a heat styling everyday type of person for my whole head. I am, if you follow me on Instagram, then you know I always swear by the cut being the key of any short hairstyle. So I live by that. I usually do a lot of finger styling to my hair, get up and go. But I am rocking my signature sideburns and growing a little tail in the back. And when I wake up in the morning and take off whatever I've put on my hair to sleep, sometimes these are a little raspy and they need to get pulled together. So I do reach for this iron to silk out my to silk out my sideburns and to straighten out my tail in the back, and then I get up and go. Pros and cons on this iron. The pros are that it does allow for me to control the amount of heat. Just said that this is one that I use almost every day for the sideburns and tail, and the lowest setting on this iron is 250 degrees, which is not a ton of heat. You got to be very careful with heat in general, but going in each day needing to fix my sideburns with 250 degrees of heat is a lot less heat than I would use if I put on an iron that I was not in control of the heat setting. So that's a pro with this. And a con about this iron is it seems like it gets a lot of buildup on the plates of it. So not specifically the one that I use at home, but when I'm styling client after client using this iron, I have to clean it a lot more than I have had to clean some other irons with titanium plates. It is a easy, just warm the iron up and wipe it down situation. It's not a deal breaker at all, but that is one thing that I have noticed about this iron. The third iron I'm going to share with you guys is this baby right here. It is the FHI Heat. Let me get it right. Technique G2. I was about to say the G2 like I was talking about a car, but it is the FHI G2. It is a 1 and I want to say like 3/4 inch in width flat iron. And this is one of the least used in my arsenal, but I do reach it for it from time to time. Pros and cons about this iron is that by it not being, it's the mid-range in regards to size of flat irons that I use. So it's not as small as my smallest irons, and it's not as large as my larger irons. So I'm able to do big barrel curls. If you've seen the trending styles of super big full curls on top, volume, or really sleek funky bang looks, this is an iron that I can pick up and achieve those looks with. So I like, a pro about this iron is that it is mid-size, so it functions to help me achieve styles that some of my irons are too small to achieve and some of my irons are too large to achieve. So it's good in the middle. About this iron is that it does not have the ability for me to control the amount of heat that I'm using. There's just an on and off gauge on this one, so you have to be mindful. My last and final iron, and this iron right here is the most questioned on Instagram. So I post a ton of videos of myself curling short hairstyles. And when I show myself using this iron, people always ask, what iron are you using? What iron are you using? So this is the iron. It is the H2 Pro 3/10 inch. I always stumble over saying that. The H2 Pro 3/10 of an inch. 3/10 of an inch flat iron. And it is my most used flat iron. Probably because it is such a small iron, I'm able to achieve a lot of the looks that I would usually pick up my Marcel irons for. I can get closer to performing them with this iron. Now, while I'm on the topic of Marcel irons, I know this video was about flat irons, but I must digress because I am a Marcel iron stylist. I have been a stylist for close to 17 years, so the foundations of hairstyling that I've been doing over the years. A good old school stove and Marcel irons is where I live. I implement flat irons into my styling technique because, like I said, I've been doing this a while, so I don't want to get stuck into just using old school ways of styling hair. But I don't want to do away with those things that are the foundations, in my opinion, of hair design. I just implement what's hot and what's trendy as long as it fits into how I get down as a stylist. So primarily I use Marcel irons. Marcel Heat is my thing. I'm sharing this video on flat irons with you guys because I do also use flat irons, and they are useful. There are some stylists who only use flat irons. There are some stylists who use only Marcels. There's beef out here in these streets, and there are blog posts and all of that. I actually wrote a blog post on Voice of Hair's blog about this same topic, and my take on the debate is that there is room for all styling tools. You don't want to get so stuck into what you've been doing over the years that you don't pivot and implement things that are new and trendy, but you don't want to get so hopped up on what's new and trendy that you never learn the foundations of what you're doing. So I found that the match made in heaven for me is implementing both and just using both tools to tailor my style of short hair styling. The H2 Pro 3/10 iron is the closest that I've been able to get to my favorite iron, my mini flat iron, Marcel iron that I use. This is quite close. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the information that I share about the flat irons that I use to style short hair. If you have any questions about any other tools, short hair styling, or about how to build a business as a stylist or salon owner, do not hesitate to drop them in the comments below. If you are not already following me on Instagram, why not, girl? Let's hook up. I am Brandy Lucas, Texas Short Hair on Instagram, and I am on there every day. I'm showing a little bit about my life, but I'm also showing you guys techniques and tools for short hair design, as well as tips on building your business as a stylist or salon owner. So make sure that you go over and follow me on Instagram. Also, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so that you'll know when I upload a new video each week.